Hello and welcome to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. We are your hosts, Andrea Pertel and Celia Milton, and we thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about Bridgewater Manor because we've both been there and I really like it a lot. So everyone, hello. We're happy to welcome Alyssa Cranston, who is the catering sales manager at Bridgewater Manor. They can help newly engaged couples. Boy, and this is a big find the wedding venue of their dreams by encouraging them to focus on what's really important to them. That is the biggest decision. Well, besides, do you want to? And yes, finding your venue, finding your venue is the biggest decision because it really says a lot about your style, and you really can't look for any other vendors until you have that in place and you can start visualizing what that day is going to look like. So, Alyssa, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about Bridgewater Manor.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bridgewater Manor is a multi-event facility. So we do actually have three ballrooms. So our smallest ballroom can accommodate, your smaller, more intimate weddings of about 50 to 90 people. Then we have our medium-sized ballroom, which can accommodate 75 to about 140. And then our largest ballroom is for your, a little bit larger weddings, anywhere from 125 to 220 guests. We also have a really nice outdoor ceremony location, a lot of space to take pictures. So we're kind of just like an all-inclusive venue, kind of like your one-stop shop where you can get everything done.
It's true. And, I'm glad you mentioned that you have spaces that can fit the 50 people wedding, the 75
Yeah.
people wedding, because it's so, we're seeing a trend in a lot of people looking to have more intimate groups, and it's really hard to place. So that's great to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ever since COVID, I would say, 50 to 90 people seems to be like a nice niche. It's also nice, to not have those gigantic weddings where you feel lost with your guests.
Right. I
Yeah,
think
no,
so
it's
too.
true.
We've noticed that trend since COVID. It seemed to have given couples the permission to have a smaller gathering. So
Yeah.
it's important. I love your outdoor space too. As you said, it makes it a one stop place.
Yeah.
Perfect for photos, wedding photos, and beautiful outdoor ceremonies, and the indoor elegant, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
outdoor
outdoor
space.
ceremonies are really nice. We allow our brides and grooms access to the venue 2 hours before the start time.
Nice.
So you can, they can do the first look, take all their pictures ahead of time. I know going to
Mhm.
cocktail hour is a new trend too. That's super important for brides and grooms. So it kind
Oh,
of gives
yeah.
them the opportunity to do that as well.
Yeah, and I think the outside space is really pretty. I've been there a number of, I think that all of the weddings I've ever done there have been outside. I must have like good karma with you guys.
Yeah,
They're all
that
outside.
hasn't been happening recently, but
Yeah, this past weekend.
But it's, I feel like everybody's kind of looking for that, even if it's, if they can't do the actual ceremony outside, if, it's kind of spotty rain and that kind of thing, there's still so many places to take pictures there. That fantastic, the bridal staircase that comes down into, it's just all kinds of places to play. And you've got a lot of staging areas, as I remember too, a lot of bridal staging areas for, brides and grooms that make, that part of the day really easy too.
Yeah, so we do have three ballrooms. Three bridal suites. Our bridal suites don't actually have bathrooms, so we don't allow the full hair and makeup here.
Mhm.
But they're rooms to use as they need throughout the night. So we have three with the three ballrooms, so it doesn't matter, of course, which ballroom that they book. They're guaranteed access to the suite. We'll never do more than two weddings on any day, so there is always like an open bridal suite to put the guys in, or just have access to two bridal suites on the day of. It's also super nice for when they, come here to have a place to put everything that they need, especially if they are doing a first look, to kind of keep them separate for as long as needed until they're ready to see each other.
Yeah, and I have to say, I've been there a number of times. I've really never seen a conflict with more than one wedding at a time. You're very adept at keeping people separated and really feeling like they have their own space and time.
Yeah, it is a little bit tricky with the three spaces, but each space also has its own cocktail hour space, so it's really
Mhm.
entirely separate. The only shared space is really the lobby when they get here, but start and end times are staggered at least an hour
Yeah.
apart. So it's never like a mad rush of people walking in at any time.
Yeah, I've never experienced that there, which I think is really great. What are some of the trends you're seeing with your couples as far as maybe menu or the way that they're orchestrating their day?
Yeah, so what we've seen a lot is the smaller, more intimate weddings. Even that like niche area of like 100 to 125 people where, some venues make you guarantee 150 people for
Mhm.
like a Saturday evening. We're not, you know, we don't really do that. We need a guarantee of at least 100 for a Saturday
Oh, that's
wedding.
great.
Yeah, but it can, still that more smaller, intimate feeling.
Mhm.
What we've also noticed with menus is, kind of a push into like more of a cocktail style wedding
Oh,
as
I
Mm,
love
opposed to like
that.
a
yeah.
formal sit down dinner, which I think is super fun. It kind of keeps it more casual. I think people are looking at weddings a little bit more, I don't want to say casually because it's not a casual decision, but like a less formal event where, you
Mhm.
have to have that 3 course plated meal. People just like want to enjoy themselves and have fun and just be comfortable, which I think the cocktail style is super fun for.
Oh, I think so. I mean, everybody loves the cocktail hour, and
Yeah.
people who have guests from not in New Jersey are like stunned when they
Oh,
encounter
yeah.
cocktail hours here. They just can't believe that there's even like dinner that's going to happen after that. But that idea of doing like all a whole cocktail hour night where people can mingle and dance and carry on, I love
Hmm.
that. I think that's such a great idea.
Yeah, I
Right.
think it's super fun. It kind of keeps the party going too for people that just want to like dance and have a good time. It's not like the formal, like you sit down, then you stand up and down and up. So people get to like kind of enjoy themselves the whole time and just get to like hang out and enjoy
Yeah,
their like friends and family.
I think it's a little bit more organic too. People,
Hmm.
you have to assume still, we're still having families and people who haven't really had the chance to see each other very much since, all the COVID restrictions. For some of
Yeah.
my, I know for some of my weddings, these people haven't seen each other in years. And,
Hmm.
you just let them hang out and look, there's, Aunt Sarah. We haven't seen her in, since 2021. And it's just, I think it's really wonderful to have that kind of flexibility to do a wedding in that kind of format. Because again, that's not something I see in a lot of the places where I go.
Yeah, no, it's something that we offer. I know some venues don't offer it, but I think we think it's fun. They still are, required to have kind of assigned seating. Everyone kind of needs a place
Yeah,
to put their stuff down, which
Yeah.
is great because, just high like cocktail tables wouldn't be enough seating. But
Right.
after like the first dances, it gets like very casual. People tend to, just want to dance and people eat, whenever they're hungry. And that's the other part, by 10 p.m. you're eating your steak and you're like, I'm so full at this point.
yeah.
So just being able to eat whenever they kind of want to, however much they want to is nice.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
would
that's really
imagine
cool.
the cocktail wedding package and your brunch wedding package are also budget friendly for couples looking for those, maybe special dates and a more budget friendly package if that's what they're looking for. I mean, you have your beautiful ballroom packages too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Cocktail style tends to be actually kind of similar to our ballroom packages because
Ah.
it is a ton of food.
Oh, is it?
But there's ways to scale it down and be a little bit more customized, definitely.
I think it's so much fun though because you can have so many different things. I
Yeah, I
think
like cocktail food better.
yeah,
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I think everybody does. It's kind of fun and it is really unusual. I think the brunch, I love a good brunch wedding.
Hmm.
It's such a great way to get people together and and if you've got people from out of town, there's that time afterwards that you can still have like that after party time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I love a good brunch wedding, good brunch wedding ceremony.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Ah,
I
oh
love your
God.
ceremony space too. Your beautiful
Yeah.
outdoor ceremony space. Beautiful for pictures.
Hmm.
It's a
Yeah.
great setting, just a great setting. That's that being the ceremony person, I just love that.
Yes, of course
Yeah.
we're all over the ceremony because it's all about us.
No, I get it. It's the start. It sets the tone. So it's nice to have, a nice
That's what we
outside
like to
spot.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Are you seeing any like food trends besides the cocktail style? Like are people looking for specific kind of ethnic things or, anything that you're excited about having at your weddings for the spring and summer?
Yeah, I mean, of course, as time goes on, we do see, more and more people vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free.
Mm.
So just making sure we have enough of those options. Most of our entrees are actually gluten-free now.
Oh, nice.
Just because
Oh,
there's,
that's great.
so many people who have dietary restrictions and cross-contamination is, a huge issue. So we don't actually really cook any of our entrees in flour anymore. So just making sure, everyone that does have a dietary restriction feels safe and comfortable eating here.
I think that's really important, and it's very, it shows that you're keeping up with the trends of the time, and I feel like that's important. It shows your commitment to, the way things change. Now, I don't know if you want to maybe talk just a little tiny bit about you have an off-premise division too.
Delicious
We
hot
do
tea.
have off premise. Yeah, it's called DH Fine Catering. So we'll really handle as much as you would like for us to handle. Whether that be just a wedding, where we're dropping off food and you're serving it buffet style, and you don't even maybe want us to have servers or anything. You can hire your own people and we'll just provide the food.
Mhm.
And we can do all the way up to, we'll rent the tent, we'll help you at the dance floor, we'll provide the servers, we'll do glassware, plateware, silverware. So we're really, interested in helping in any way that we can and any way that, anyone needs us to.
Yeah, that sounds great. Do you go to people's like homes, backyards? Do you have
Hmm.
other offsite venues that you refer?
So we have worked at a few, like museums, we've worked at a
Oh, that's
couple of
great.
farms.
Oh, fun.
Um, yeah, but we mostly do, I would say people's backyards. That tends to be more popular, especially like in this area of Somerset County. People have a bit
Yeah.
more space, which is
Hmm.
really nice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we've seen. We're, discussing with a few venues that don't have their own on-site catering to be a preferred vendor, but we haven't like locked in on one place specifically at this time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I think that's a great idea because we do a lot of ceremonies in
Hmm.
backyards, and you're right, in that area, people's backyards are big. And
Yeah, they are.
a lot of people love that idea of a home wedding. And it's great that they can get somebody, people who are really experienced in, the food aspect, the serving
Hmm.
aspect, and just really tie it together for them. I think that's terrific. Wow, that is cool. How typically what should people who are coming to thinking do a tour and
Hmm.
book you to have their wedding there, what kind of a time frame do you recommend for that for people?
I would say historically people book about a year out.
Yeah.
But it's so, I mean, I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's so different post-COVID.
Oh, it is.
It
It's
is.
That
it's real.
I'm
It's
getting
real.
them
it
what
can,
I would
I mean,
consider last
mhm.
minute, which are like two
Yeah.
months out, and it's like, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see it all the time. People will book something for next month, 2 months away. They, got married maybe in 2020, they had
Yes.
their like little ceremony, then they started having kids where now things are slowing down where they can really celebrate, where they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
let's have a party essentially. Which is great. But you have people booking into 2026, so there's like a huge gap of time. Um, so it is just really subject to availability, but I would say historically it's been about a year out.
About a year. Yeah. Well, and well, I mean, you can't really plan anything else until you have your venue in place. Because
The
Exactly.
first
it's the
thing.
biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's geographically, it's gonna ground you in a place that's gonna make, looking for other vendors, it's gonna narrow that field a little bit. And plus it's, generally speaking, it's about half of your budget is gonna go to your reception, no matter whether you're
Yeah.
doing it in your backyard or you're doing it at Bridgewater Manor, it's
Hmm.
gonna be a significant chunk. And you can plan once you get that established, you can plan around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the date, making sure all the vendors that you like are available on the specific date you book. So it is kind of the first thing, where we see people who are like, we just got engaged 3 days ago, to people who've engaged for a year. So it all really depends on what everyone wants to do.
I know. It's kind of like all bets are off at this point.
I know. And I get it, what's
Yeah.
important to people, varies.
Everyone's
So it really
different.
depends.
Yeah.
Um, well, I did want to say that we will be putting a link on our social media site for bridgewatermanor.com and for your website as well as Instagram, so that our listeners can go right to you and check out beautiful pictures of your venue
yeah.
and go to your
Mhm.
website. Just click on the link and go to the website and take a look at all the different packages and spaces, and they can actually even go right there and plan a tour to come in for a tour of your venue. And I guess you do tours and tastings and everything.
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week. So whenever anyone is available to come in, we do have a sister location called the Valley at Neshannock. It's right on a
Nice.
golf course. So that's been relatively new to us. So catering is pretty similar, but just a different feel. It's that like golf club feel.
Oh, okay. I see that now. I see
Yeah, that's really pretty.
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Well,
Yeah.
because you have a lot of options for people. I'm looking at your menu now.
Yes.
I really do need to have lunch like
I'm getting
immediately.
hungry looking at
I
this
do. It's the
Delicious
menus.
Heights
Oh,
fine catering menu. Yeah.
oh God, this looks so good. I want some right now. I want those macaroni and cheese I want them
Oh
now.
yeah.
I want it now. Okay. Oh, the stations look great too for that going
Hmm.
back to that cocktail hour. Oh, how fun. Oh, this looks great. Okay, I have to stop looking at you.
Yeah, I have to stop
I
too.
can't
It does
concentrate
look.
anymore. No, it's just too good. Well, great. Listen, thank you so much for being part of our podcast. It was great fun to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to being there soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Have a great Tuesday.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
So I love the Bridgewater Manor. I know it's closer to you, Celia, so
Yeah.
you're there quite often. But I really do love that they have the different spaces. The one for 50 to 90 guests, 75 to 140, and then the larger to 220, because you get a lot of those different. So many of these venues are stuck with one minimum or maximum.
Yeah, it's hard. If you really just want to have, maybe you started out wanting to have 40 people and you ended up at 60 people because, oh, you have to invite that one. You have to, but
That
still,
happens.
it's really hard to place those weddings except on a Thursday night. And I've done weddings outside in their courtyard and they've come into the reception space that's right there, which I think is the smallest one. They have a separate cocktail room. I mean, it's very gracious and you're on one side of the building. You really don't even know anybody else is there except for, coming in. When she said they stagger their arrivals. You come in, there's a big, beautiful bridal staircase, but then you're in your own little place. And, we talk to people all the time. It's like, well, how many people are you going to have? We wanted to have 75, but our minimum is 100. So now you have 25 people you've invited that you don't even like.
Or
It's
you don't
like,
know because they were,
you don't know or you don't like it, and maybe they're not going to show up anyway. And now you're paying for 25 people that never showed up anyway. So I think that's really that flexibility, I think, is really a very key thing for people to go and look at them. Plus, it's
they're
yeah, plus it's
photo
pretty.
ops. Yeah, it's the photo ops there are beautiful. The interior photo ops, very
Yeah,
grand, very
very pretty.
elegant, like that staircase with the piano and the
Yeah,
lighting
it's
with
very
that kind
pretty.
of pink lighting, and it's just gorgeous, just perfect for
Very pretty.
your
Yeah,
photos. And then of course the gardens are very beautiful, very well maintained, and the whole
yeah.
pavers out there in the whole garden ceremony area.
Hmm.
Even if you're not having your ceremony outside, you still have the outdoors to take some beautiful
Yeah, for
pictures.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, even
It's very convenient too. It's really easy for people to get to. There's hotels around it, and if you've got people coming in from all over the place, that really does become
so
a
important.
factor. Yeah, it really does. And their food is really good too, I have to say. Their food is
Yeah.
really, really
I
good.
guess the food is all by that Delicious Heights Catering, which is their in-house catering, right?
Food is great. And you know what? The people there are really nice. We didn't really
Makes
talk
such a
about there, but
difference. Yeah.
they're all their staff people there. They're bartending people and waiters and, the people that kind of facilitate the ceremony on the day. It's got a very warm feeling to it. It's really nice.
Yeah, should have spoke more about the staff. I wish I would have said that, but you can see that in the reviews. I see
Yeah.
that they have, 170 something reviews, and
Mhm.
they say things like beautiful venue with excellent staff, and they
Yep.
name people. Emily was so helpful. This person, Emily, the sales coordinator, is mentioned quite a bit. Alyssa, again,
Yeah.
from the beginning, amazing experience. I would choose them again. Very nice from the beginning. So they get a lot of reviews, make such a difference.
They really do. Well, and I really love the idea that they actively do have a cocktail party, like an extended cocktail party menu, because I think that's like the best part. Everybody thinks it's the best part, right?
Yeah, most people are like, I just love the cocktail food, and
Yeah.
cocktail food has come so, it's everybody loves the little hot dogs, but it's so much more than that. I mean, it's good
I
stuff, right?
know. But there's it's fun because you have the stations you can go to and visit, and you can schmooze with people and move around. I mean, I do agree that, you do kind of have to have seating for everybody. But people they can be more flexible. They can move around and they get up and they get down and they have hors d'oeuvres come to them. I think that's really just an absolutely great way to do a wedding. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I like it. And one of the other things that are in the reviews and it's on their website is their individual service and their attention to detail, and they will guide you every step of the way. So it's not book and forget. They're going to
Yeah.
guide you every step of the way. So, Bridgewater Manor, it's, they know what they're doing, and they
Yeah.
have a beautiful venue and a great staff, great food,
Yeah.
an assortment of packages, all sizes and types. So I really encourage everyone, to planning their wedding, looking for a venue, to check out their website.
Definitely.
And then, Celia is there quite a bit, Celia and her crew. So you book your, I'll just say it, you book your ceremony at, your wedding at Bridgewater Manor, and you're going to call NJ Vows now to do
That's
the
right.
ceremony. Well, somebody familiar with the venue,
Yeah.
and that's perfect.
That's right. That's right. It's all good.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us today, and be sure to hit the like and follow and subscribe button, whatever it says on your podcast site, so you don't miss an episode as you plan your wedding. And we want to hear from you. If you have any questions or have any advice, you can contact us through, of course, the podcast site, or through our social media messages, or even through our website contact form.
Mhm.
Everything is called New Jersey Wedding Podcast. New Jersey is spelled out. And happy planning.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.